Is time really on the Maple Leaf side? While Toronto fans dream of Mitch Marner staying, the question that won't go away is, what about John Tavares and Steve Lawrence? Will these two pillars, each in their own way, really wait until the summer to find out if they'll still be wearing the blue and white? This is the Leafs News Fan Report, and today we're diving into the uncertainty hanging over the future of three fundamental pieces of the roster. According to veteran analyst Nick Kypreos, the Leafs' decision to hold off on any renewal talks with Tavares and Lawrence isn't due to lack of interest. It's strategy. Right now, the full focus is on Mitch Marner, and rightfully so. He's not just a scorer. He's the heart, brain, and lungs of the Leaf system. Locking him in before making any other moves seems to be the front office's safest bet. But what about Tavares? The captain has shown this season that he still has plenty left in the tank. With 67 points in 65 games, he's made it clear to those who doubted his longevity. His declared desire to end his career as a Maple Leaf sounds almost like a silent vow, and all signs point to him being open to negotiating a deal that makes sense for both sides. Lawrence is a different story, but no less important. With his grit, intensity, and dirty work, he's won over the fans and earned the team's trust. Even with more modest numbers, his presence on the ice isn't just seen in stats. It's felt in the soul of the locker room. The dilemma is clear. Prioritizing Marner now could mean delaying negotiations with two valuable players. But delaying doesn't mean giving up. With about $27 million available under the cap and the possibility of Marner signing for around $12.5 million per season, there would still be room to build the roster, including, of course, our two central characters. The big question is, what if Marner doesn't re-sign? How do you replace someone who does everything and then some on the ice? The most honest answer might be you don't. That's why every second counts. Every meeting, every phone call. And until then, fans will keep doing what they do best, believing. If you enjoyed this analysis and want to follow every step of this Toronto saga, subscribe now to the Leafs News Fan Report and turn on notifications. Here, the passion for hockey is always updated in sync with the blue and white heartbeat. And the most intriguing part of this whole story is the silent yet strategic role of Brad Treliving. The Leafs general manager knows every move needs to be surgical. He can't afford a mistake in negotiating with Marner, but he also can't lose the timing with Tavares and Lawrence. After all, we're not just talking about players. We're talking about identity, locker room leadership, and on-ice chemistry. John Tavares isn't just the captain. He's the reflection of an era. The bridge between the past and the present still chasing ultimate glory. His staying is more than fair. It's symbolic. And it's almost impossible to imagine number 91 wearing another jersey. On the other side, Steven Lawrence represents everything a coach loves and that fans often don't notice right away. Effort, discipline, dedication. He's the guy who never backs down from a corner battle, who hustles back on defense, and who holds the line when the Stars are catching their breath on the bench. Players like that don't make headlines, but they're key pieces on any championship team. But all of this runs into the math of the salary cap and Mitch Marner's next steps. If he stays, the Leafs will have little room to maneuver. If he leaves, the team faces a tactical and emotional gap that's nearly impossible to fill. The alternatives? Limited. None of the free agents on the market come close to Marner's complete impact. The ideal scenario is clear. Keep all three. Marner, Tavares, and Lawrence. But that'll take perfect timing, smart negotiation, and let's be honest, a bit of faith. As the off-season approaches and the pressure builds, one thing is certain. Summer in Toronto promises to be hot. Not because of the temperature, but because of the decisions that could shape the team's future for years to come. And here at Leafs News Fan Report, we'll follow every step of that journey, with you, the fan, at the heart of this conversation. So if you want to closely follow all the market developments, the negotiations, and every detail of the battle for the Leafs' future, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because the season might be ending, but the excitement is just beginning. And as a Leafs fan, I admit, it's impossible not to feel your heart in your throat watching all of this unfold. Seeing Tavares' name in uncertainty after everything he represents bothers me. This guy didn't just deliver on the ice, he carried the team through some really tough moments. He deserves respect, and he deserves to finish his career here in Toronto, wearing the jersey he chose while still in his prime. As for Lawrence, man, this kind of player is pure gold for any team wanting to be competitive in the playoffs. He won't give you 30 goals in a season, but he'll be there when the game gets tight. He'll throw his body on the forecheck, kill penalties, and play with heart. And honestly, that's the kind of piece you only truly value once it's gone. Now, Mitch Marner, there's no debate. If the Leafs want to keep contending at the top, he has to stay. He's different. He's the kind of talent you see once in a generation. And as much as the salary cap math complicates things, letting this guy walk would be an almost irreversible mistake. What makes me most anxious is knowing all of this is happening at once. 3 huge decisions in one summer. It's like the fate of the team for the next 5 years is being written right now, and all we can do is wait and hope the front office gets it right this time without hesitation. So, Leafs fan, what would you do if you were in management's shoes? Lock in Marner at all costs? Try to keep the trio? Or is it time for a rebuild? Drop your opinion in the comments, and let's talk about it. And of course, if you enjoyed this video and want to keep following everything about the Leafs with a passionate fan's perspective, subscribe to the Leafs News Fan Report, hit the bell, and come with us on this journey. Because being a Leafs fan is emotional, even in the summer.